Thank y'all for tuning back in to your favorite channel, Pelican Bay Dog Talk and News for the day. Giving it to you the way I always do, fair and unbiased. Some gonna like it, some ain't, man. Y'all hit that subscribe button if you haven't subscribed yet. Don't forget to hit that notification bell. That way you'll be in the loop when the video is dropping. You'll be in the loop when the video is dropping. Don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to drop down in them comments. Big salute to all the bulldoggers and dog lovers down in the chat, and all the dog lovers from one side of the world to the other side of the world. Let's get into that talk for the day. Now let me reintroduce this puppy. His name is Old Dan. You know I named him Old Dan, named him after the dog on where the red fern grows, because he looked like a coon dog when he was a puppy. You know, I told my brothers I was going to change his name to Smokehouse, but nah, I'm going to leave his name at Old Dan. Old Dan is his name. This is J.D. Hogg's nephew, coming down off J.D. Hogg's brother. But before I get deep into that, let me say, man, this weather and these temperatures has dropped. Y'all keep them dogs warm out there. If you got to get your hay, get your hay. You got to check your water to make sure your water buckets aren't freezing over, because there's no purpose for your dog to have water if the water bucket is frozen. So pay attention to that water out there, man. Stay on point, stay on top of everything. You know what I'm saying, to keep them dogs warm. Because like I said, I know if it's cold down south, it got to be past cold to my brothers up north. You know, so y'all stay safe out there, man, and keep them dogs warm. Old Dan is 5 months old right now, and I played with him with this hide since he been a 1 month old, 2 month old puppy. But anyway, let me tell you one thing I do believe in. When you kill an animal, when you go hunting, you know, I believe in using the whole animal. We're going to eat the meat and this deer hide right here. You know, deer hide is great for a dog to grab onto when it get hard. And for those who don't know how to carry it out, you know, you just skin it down, skin the deer down, take the meat that you're going to take off, get that skin that you see right there, lay it out flat, put you some salt all on the bottom side of the meat, the side that come off, you know, the deer. Put salt all on that side, cover it down with salt, and then you leave it somewhere dry. See, normally when I did it, it was in the summertime, you know, or at least in warmer times where I can leave it out where it's not raining. You don't want it to get wet, you know. You don't want it to get wet. Leave it out and just let it sit for a while and let that salt just marinate in it. And that's what they call curing it out. Now, Old Dan mother is the female that you seen in the video with Mellow Yellow yesterday. You know, that's his mother. She's bred back to Mellow Yellow's little mate brother right now. No matter how tight you breed these dogs, you won't get black dogs from them. You know, these dogs throwing true Mayday traits, 50+ pound dogs. Today is the hog hide. Tomorrow's the rope. The next day is the ball. The next day is the tug toy. Switch it up every now and then. You know what I'm saying? But the thing about it is, I want to socialize them. When I say socialize, that way brothers get the picture that I'm not just talking about taking them places. You want to introduce this dog to anything that he can possibly be dealing with in the future. That way it won't be a new object to him. Even down to the treadmill, you don't got to let him run on it. You can just put him on it to where he walking. He just not scared of it. You know, a dog gonna remember. You know, just put him on it one time if you got one. Don't let him run. Don't hook him up. Don't do anything. You know, it's all about getting that dog used to things, getting that dog used to the public, getting that dog used to everything, because you never know what kind of situation he be in. Now let's talk a little bit about teething, because see, Old Dan is teething right now, and a lot of people, you wouldn't believe how many people might leave their dogs on chains or in cages or wherever they put them at, and don't let that dog or puppy bite anything. You know, don't let them bite anything, and that could cause problems later on down the line, because I have seen dogs well over a year old and their top teeth having busted gums. You know, their adult teeth are still inside of the gums. You know, and all that stuff just comes from the lack of biting as a puppy. You got to let them dogs bite when they like 1, 2 months old, 3 months old. Let them bite toys. Let them bite the bone, or, you know what I'm saying, something like that. Some type of big object that they play with and grip their teeth in. Let them bite that stuff, because that helps break out the baby teeth and help the adult teeth come in good and healthy without being crooked or, any of that type of stuff. Every other day that old Dan goes out to flirt pole, to fetch, just the casual walk is going to have him more and more alert of his surroundings. And you're going to see a different dog every other day, every other day. See, when you have your dog flirt poling or biting any type of object where it may lead to some sort of competition, you always want your dog to have a full bite. Don't practice him and teach him how to bite tips. Bite tips. You want him to make the full bite. You want his whole mouth to grip whatever object he's on. His whole mouth all the way back to the back side of his jaws to grip down on it. Because you never know what competition you'll be in. And they say if you're on a competition where you got to jump up and grab the tug out of the air, then you want him to jump up and try to grab it with his full mouth. Whether he grab it with the tip or not, because it's so high, you never know. But you want him to try to grab it with his full mouth. While we talking about these young dogs, let me show you another young prospect for the future. Florida Outlaws, Jimmy Draco. Remember the name, like I tell y'all. Remember the name. Florida Outlaws, Jimmy Draco. Fine looking puppy. Boils, Puma. I want to say it's almost all boils with like a quarter of Puma in it. Jimmy Draco. Don't forget the name. It's just like the animals in the wild. Now imagine a young lion cub or a young wolf cub not being socialized, just staying at the den, not leaving out the den, not going to fight with the other cubs, not trying to follow the mom around, the mom not showing them how to hunt, not showing them none of this stuff at a young age. And he just coming out at about 7 or 8 months, never been played with none of the cubs, never did none of that other type of stuff. He's not gonna survive. So it's the same thing with the pits. You want to start them off young, and it don't mean just flirt poling. It don't mean just grabbing them around the mouth and making them go rawr, rawr. It don't mean that. That's not socializing. Socializing is not taking them to the store. That's not what socializing mean alone. It just mean everything as a whole. Everything as a whole, man. You thinking when you standing by somebody and you just talking, y'all just kicking the shit and you just talking to them, and the dog standing there on the leash, you don't think that means something, but that means a whole lot. Your dog is being socialized certain things. You hate to get in any competition and somebody wants you to be super quiet because their dog is scared of every damn thing. Let's see. Have any of the breeders been talking about when a dog gets anxiety from leaving his owner because he wants to be around that particular owner? See, every breed got their own thing they do when they get in that anxiety, start having that anxiety, get in that mode. Belgian Malinois start digging, running in circles, being destructive, where a pit bull might freeze up, might shelter himself, or herself. Every breed gonna do something different when it comes to anxiety, wants to be around their owner. And when you get a pit bull who's not around his owner like he wanna be around his owner, you got him around you once a week. The pit bull wanna be around you multiple times a week, all week long. So being that he's only seeing you once a week, a few times a week, or maybe when you come through and feed, now he's building up whole nother character that he wouldn't normally have to build up if you was dealing with him on an everyday, normal, everyday living basis. I want to send a big shout out to Legion's Fury 13. Brother Ed Valentin, big shout out to Ed Valentin for the donation to the channel, man. Salute to all the brothers down in the chat, all the sisters down in the chat, and all the bulldoggers and doggers worldwide. Like I always say, let's keep this thing going. Now, when it comes to old Dan, he's a great companion dog, a great family dog, great with kids, loves the public, and that's the kind of dog we want. He wants to do anything. He wants to work, and the more I work him, the more he's going to want to work. I want to send a big shout out to Samurai Kennel Saki. I want to send a big shout out to Gas and Gold's Demon. I want to send a big shout out to Pro and Game Mag John. We make stars over here, baby. Pelican Bay's old Dan. Pelican